also I see why they paid JB that 50 because there were Jayson, overall good game. But in the big moments in the fourth quarter, he looked like he was disengaged.
You're saying Tatum was
Tatum, yeah. But I'm saying like I see why they paid JB that 50 because in those moments where JB just seemed like he didn't have, well, Tatum seemed like he didn't have it. You know what I mean? JB was carrying, and then finally halfway through the overtime, Jay said like, okay, I guess I'll show up now. And so it did. Even though he had 26 prior to overtime, in the big moments, it did feel like he just wasn't focused. And how are you not focused at home in the West Conference Finals against a team where you're supposed to beat, and they're giving you chance after chance after chance?
Did you feel like the Pacers? I mean, you've watched a lot more Tatum than me, but did you feel like the Pacers basically just like it was like they took him to the arcade and he got knocked out immediately the first 3 times he played the game, and they just kept putting quarters in the machine. Like, you're gonna get it eventually. Like don't worry about it. Like, just have fun and relax. Like, he could not have looked more, like you said. I don't know if disengage is the right word, but like he's settling, like you talk about being frustrated with him. He's making bad decisions, and they just kept like, no. How about we'll have Nembhard fucking trip over himself trying to guard you, and then we'll have the smallest white point guard in history grab you as you get a layup. How about that? Would that make you feel better? Like, would that get you settled into the game? I just like by the time he woke up, the Pacers should have been on the bus on the way back to the hotel up 1-0.
For sure. I mean, what? Haliburton dribbles off his foot without any pressure, up 3 with what? 14 seconds left. I'm like, nigga, you forgot you forgot how to dribble for a second? Like, no pressure. Crazy. I mean, they also like. Go ahead.
I was gonna say they blew the game in the fourth quarter on that inbound that they threw away when they had a TO to burn. They saw it was nothing there. Like, they still try to get it inbounds. It turned into a turnover for them. That was when they blew the game, bro. Just like I said, just a bunch of dumb decisions all night from both teams.
Actually, that's my first question to y'all. What was the stupidest play of the game? That's yours, Tyler? That would be your pick?
That's my vote, because that swung the game. They win if they just call a timeout and get the inbound in on the next drive.
Also, they threw it to Siakam, who was running towards the baseline. What does he do with that ball when he gets it? You know what I mean?
Like, stop on a dime.
I have to stop on a dime not to be out of bounds if he would have caught the ball. Like, that's a lot. I just think dribbling off your foot without any pressure, that's hard to do. You know, I could run up a back when I see somebody not do something I could do in a game. I could dribble I think everybody could dribble up the court without pressure, without dribbling the ball off her foot. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, G. That's wild to me.
I'll do the dumbest one. The dumbest play to me was you have 6 seconds left. You're the offense no one wants to be in that situation against. You have 5 scorers on the floor. You don't have to give the ball to Jayson Tatum and watch him relive a Kobe Bryant YouTube highlight. Like, you have 5 guys that can score. You have mismatches on 2 or 3 spots on the floor, and they just give it to Hallie. And he just runs it was like watching someone smother a little fire or something. Like, he just goes and gets himself blanketed and throws up some bullshit. Like, what are we doing, bro?
I mean, he just hit that double clutch and then in the third to tie it up or to bring him within 1 or whatever. So he might have been feeling himself. Yeah, but that's for sure. That's not.
And he's also running around the perimeter. Like, you have 6 seconds left. Get to the cup, put it up. You've gotten some big offensive boards. Like, anything other than run away from the basket, get squared up, and then throw up some bullshit. You have 6 seconds. I just don't like all the other things.
Turner was causing problems at the paint, though, bro. Did you see? Like, it seemed like he was there every time the ball was in the paint, he was involved. Like, and there was one time where JB was on a corner with Miles guarding him and just pass it off. Like, he couldn't do shit. Like, I'm so impressed with how he plays. You feel me? Like, on the defensive end, he's a problem. I know we didn't want to give up the things we wanted to give up to get him, but I would love to have somebody like that on our squad. I mean, we have AD. Come on, man. But I mean, it wouldn't hurt to have another one on the defensive end, for real.
So let's talk about the decision not to foul. I think there was some debate. They were talking about maybe
Got there late. He got there late. Dude was already in his he was already in his shot motion, bro. Like, the chances are, if he would have tried to make that happen in that particular situation, he's fouling him with in his emotion.
But JJ's, because I agree with that watching it, but JJ made the point. Rick Carlisle has not fouled up 3
for sure.
So, look, man, like as a basketball fan, do I want to watch you foul up 3? No. Like I want to see someone hit or miss the 3 to tie the game. As a basketball person, you have to foul up 3 because otherwise that's what happens, bro.
You put them on the line for 2 chances for them to get a point apiece to come out with 2 points at the absolute most. Like it's simple math. I don't see why any basketball mind is against that. I really don't.
I think it's a lack of confidence in your players, though. Because, I mean, you just get into a free throw battle at that point. You know what I'm saying? And are you uncomfortable that you don't think that, if you foul and they hit their free throws, you can go down and hit your free throws? I don't know.
Let's look at the free throw line today. 9 of 10 from the Pacers.
They went something or 6 of 6. They only had 6. I think they hit all their free throws, though, the Pacers. They shot 10?
Yes.
The Celtics doubled them, like 2.5 times as much or something.
And the Celtics were 24 of 30.
Yeah, they 2.5. Yeah.
God damn.
I want everyone to know in the chat that I was trying to get. I was like, Jackson, we just need you for like 2 minutes so everyone can laugh at you. Just pop in real quick. So it's kind of my fault. I had a tweet that I was going to send to Tyler about put that fucking Tatum and Brown meme up.
That's like my favorite bit right now, bro. I love that picture so much.
Tyler, you said you liked the game because you just don't like either team. Is it enjoyable?
It was. I want to know if enjoyable is the word. It was intriguing. it was wow. Like who's gonna be the dumbest fucking team tonight, right? Like it was that angle of it. I wouldn't say it was necessarily enjoyable, but like I said, it was intriguing.
It was like watching 2 stupid people you don't like slap each other in the face to no effect.
What's so weird to me is the Celtics have been here so much and they still play games like this. I don't know how you could still be a Celtics. Like I would hate to be a Celtics fan. I would despise it because there's no excuse. It's not like, at least with the Pacers, they're young, first time in this situation, and I don't know how long. You feel me? The franchise as a whole, like, come on, man. Like, there's no excuse for these Celtics. There's no excuse. And you see them do just boneheaded shit in situations they've been in the more times than not in the playoffs. You know what I mean?
I'm going to give Drew Holiday a lot of credit. And he made them look very smart for picking him up. Because I would say the possession in overtime when he locked up Haliburton and just it's some real. I'm friends with and follow a lot of like elite basketball trainers in Southern California, and the conversation about who does and does not require a ball screen right now is like burning up trainer Twitter in Southern California. And there's a lot of people looking at Haliburton, bro, like, damn, he got fucking smothered one-on-one, bro.
Hey, send me them screenshots of what they saying, bro. I'm interested. I want to see.
It's Clint Parks. I know y'all remember Clint Parks.
Oh, for sure.
Right?
Clint Parks, but he's plugged in with all the, like, Jaden McDaniels, his trainer, is like one of his close friends and everything. There's a lot of people talking about like who does and does not need that ball screen. And Tyrese Haliburton, I have a lot of respect. He played really well tonight. I think he was like 6 of 13 from 3 or something, but when they needed him to get a bucket, he needed a ball screen like a motherfucker, bro. He fucking Drew Holiday had that man's foot bent up behind his ears. He pretzeled the fuck out of him.
Call me out, brother.
But yeah, but going back to John said about like how Celtics fans probably kind of hate this team a little bit too. Like we saw when the Celtics hopped out to that early lead in the first quarter, I saw a lot of Celtics fans doing like victory laps, and it was, oh yeah, we ain't the Knicks. You know, it was kind of like in that tone. And I was like, bro, yeah, y'all aren't the Knicks. Y'all are something uniquely your own. Y'all are the Celtics. like y'all are a team that inexplicably blows games that you shouldn't blow. And this looked like it was on course to be one of those, but they won it out. Hats off to them. But yeah, I mean, just the victory lap that I saw in that first quarter, that let me know that this shit is wearing on Celtics fans too. That this whole, shadow of being a weird team that is going to blow games that they should win is coming down on them too, bro. Like, it's not just us who are unabashed Celtics dislikers. Like, Celtics fans are dealing with this shit themselves too.
Did y'all feel like, I felt like you could really see the frustration in the stands tonight when they were cut to the when they were cut, like, you could really see some like, you're the
what
Boston
the fuck
Celtics
is happening type shit.
Yeah.
Like, really?
Yeah,
for sure.
What do you guys think? Do you so I was bullish on the Pacers because of what happened tonight until the last fucking 45 seconds of regulation and overtime. It's just, they have pace. They're going to force you to defend. They have 5 guys on the floor, so they can hunt a matchup with Horford and attack it from basically any angle. And they're going to make you score a lot. Like, I thought even though they lost, they won the battle of making the Celtics play their game. That game was played the way the Pacers wanted to be played. But you give one away on the road, game 2 often looks pretty bad. So what do y'all think? Did the Pacers prove that they have enough to make this a series to y'all? Or do you feel like, oh, they missed their best shot, the Celtics are going to roll over?
Yeah, I mean, I still got the Celtics coming out of this. I had them coming out before the series started. I just thought that it will probably go 6. Like, I think Indiana's good enough to get 1, and Boston's stupid enough to give them another one, right? This might have been the one they were supposed to give them, so it might go 5 now. But I mean, it doesn't change anything for me. Celtics still coming out here.
Okay.
What's weird is like hearing Jaylen Brown say at the end of the game, we have to keep up with them. And it seemed like, that was an issue. Y'all are playing their game instead of them playing your game.
You don't have to keep up with anybody. You should bring them down to your level.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm like, so I don't like the approach is like, hey, let's be better at what they're best at. Doesn't make sense to me. I don't see that. A lot of the shots they get are through action, through, you know what I'm saying? You talked about even, Haliburton getting balls, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Versus the Celtics, who are seem like hey, we just got to shoot threes. It doesn't matter how we get it. You know what I mean? So them playing that way makes me worried because I don't know if they're going to out-pacer the Pacers. If they were to make them play their way, I would be more confident. So I don't really know. I would say the Celtics are the better team. So I would say 6, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Pacers won, if that's the approach they're taking based upon what Jaylen Brown said.
I was surprised by that too, but it didn't really feel, I mean, I will say this for the stuff we've said, and I know we have a couple of Celtics fans who listen to the show who are very sick of us making sort of similar points about the Celtics. Every time I watch the Celtics, I see the same thing. So I'm not going to like pretend that that's not the case.
We don't have to make anything else up, bro. They don't make us.
But from what I have seen of the Boston Celtics, them going up 12-0 to start a game is the worst thing that could happen to them.
They get comfortable.
She's like, oh, sick. Like, I know how this is going to go, so I don't know. I think the Pacers showed that they could play. They could force them to play their kind of a game. They had seven players in double figures tonight. They took 35 threes. I think they shot 40% from 3. What was it? They were 37%, 13 to 35 from 3. And you said it. The Celtics is like it just doesn't feel like they're dictating. And if you're trying to win in any sport with the best defense, that's the way you're trying to win. You have to dictate for step 1. You have to dictate how the game is played. The 2000 Ravens did not win games 37 to 35 by making an interception at the end of the game, right? They're dictating the grounds on which that game is being played. And it doesn't feel to me that the Celtics do that. They could come out in game 2 and do it, but I didn't see that tonight. And so for me as a fan, as excruciating as the last 6 or 7 minutes of that game was, I'm more excited for the series because of that. Because I think it's going to be a series. And maybe
what do y'all think Mazzulla's philosophy is? Like, do you think he's a guy let's just outscore them?
I think his number one thing tonight was to try to not get beat in transition, right? Like I saw some of the quotes that he gave that the reporters who cover the team were putting out, but also he said it during the broadcast. They're trying to make him score 5-on-5. They don't want to give up the run and gun, the high tempo pace stuff. So I get that. But
what are
it's-
you doing on the other end? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
offensively?
Yeah. Shout out to Neesmith though. We never said this on the pod though, but we interviewed him during the Pandy, and we talked about how he played for the Celtics. You know what I mean? And I know I was wondering, like, is he going to find his footing in the league? I don't know if that was a good situation for him because they're so deep at the guard position. You feel me? But I love what I've been watching. I've been watching so much Pacers in the playoffs. I love what I'm seeing from him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Great 3-and-D guy. You know what I'm saying? We talked about how he was really efficient in college. I think one of the best as far as efficiency percentage-wise, one of the best, in college in the college the year he graduated. And you see it's showing up now. I'm happy that he found a spot, and it's been really fun watching him. So I fell in love with him when we interviewed him. He was just such a good, kind kid. Like, he didn't know.
Yeah.
He talked like a guy that wasn't going to the NBA. He talked like a regular kid that was just graduating college. You know what I mean? And so I'm just really happy he found a spot for himself. He was super smart. We thought he'd figure it out, but he is glad to see it actually happen, coming to fruition.
Yeah. When we talked to him, he was going into the draft, summer 2020. And I just came away from there so impressed with him because he was he went the 14th pick overall, I think, but there were still some questions about him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he shot like 50% from 3, and we were like, that's not going to translate to the league. Everyone knew that.
Yeah.
Even I think even he knew that himself, right? But I just came away from that so impressed because he was just such a brilliant kid. Like, he's a high school valedictorian. He left Vandy with like a super high GPA, and I was like, this kid is going to figure it out. If he doesn't cut it in the NBA, he's going to be just fine regardless of where he goes. And he figured it out in the NBA. Like, he transitioned from a sniper into like a defensive specialist. He's finally getting some big minutes, and he's making it count. Like, he's going to be in this league for a long time, bro. Guys
and he
like
gets buckets
15,
too. And he gets buckets. You know what I'm saying? Like, he shot almost 50% from the field this year, or 12, 13, 14 points a game, whatever. But so like, yeah, he can get you some buckets too when needed. So love to see that. But yeah, like you said, I thought he would figure it out regardless. But it's dope to see that he figured it out in NBA. So, shout out to him, bro.
Fucking Jackson is doing my bit at me. Just fucking texted us a minute ago. Wait, what happened?
I love
when they pull a you on you.
I love them put a you on you. I love the petty, baby.
That's my bit, Jackson.
You gotta respect it. You gotta respect it. Mike, come on. Come on, man.
I'm very uncomfortable right now.
A couple comments from the chat. Patrick Guru said it was like watching two giraffes fight, very awkward. And then
I've seen a giraffe fight in person too. That shit is weird as fuck. It's like they're dancing.
You saw that shit in person?
When I was in Kenya, bro. Like, they said it was very uncommon.
Oh my God.
I was in the bush in Kenya, and them motherfuckers was, and I was like, what the fuck is that? I had never seen it until I saw it in person. And I was like, what are them niggas doing, bro? I thought it was I transitioned to a different fucking, part of the multiverse. Like, is this real? Is this a glitch in the motherfucking in the universe right now? Crazy. So yeah, I saw that shit in live.
And then,
wow.
Keith Jackson said it was like watching two toddlers play Monopoly.
Yeah, that feels about right.
Hilarious.
Someone's got a house up their nose. Someone else is fucking picking their ear with the thimble. Like,
Jesus Christ.
No one's fouling up three, I'm gonna pose a question to the chat. We're gonna preview the Wolves Mavs series right now, and then I don't have anything else on the topic list. So if the chat's got shit they want us to talk about, think it up. We'll talk a little more hoops, and then we can get to a couple other topics before we get out of here. Wednesday night, serious basketball hopefully is going to be played. The Minnesota Timberwolves and the Dallas Mavericks. Cat is going to rescue us by playing. Cat and Rudy are going to play some serious basketball.
Tyler, I want to hear how excited you were with that win. I want to know how you felt watching that game because we didn't really get to talk about it. But like, how do you feel about the win?
About the Wolves winning Game 7.
About the Wolves winning Game 7. Yeah.
Well, I was on the road and I was listening to it on the radio, but I saw the highlights and shit. But
listen on the radio, man. Throwback, nigga. How'd that feel?
Yeah, throwback shit, right? But yeah, like a fucking 1950s old timey face ass nigga. But yeah, it, from what I saw, bro, like
you drove your Plymouth Hornet and you.
I was just so impressed with Naz Reid in particular. Like, I felt like the play where he got the putback dunk, the next play he came down and had the dime to ant for three. I felt like that was like the backbreaker right there. like, 6 man of the year right there. He's just been incredible. Ant, when they put him on Jamal Murray, like in the second half, Jamal Murray went like 11 to 12, and Ant was talking his shit about how he put his handcuffs on him.
He needed that ball screen.
Yeah, another dude who need a ball screen, right? But yeah, I was very impressed with Minnesota, and I was out on the match that they gave up 3 straight to Denver, as I think a lot of us were. But I think the championship is theirs to lose now.
Can't really argue with that at this point, bro. I mean, So okay,
they're going to make the game hell for these Celtics. That defense is going to wreak havoc against the Celtics, bro. If the Celtics make it out,
you're saying you're saying versus the Mavs.
No, I'm saying I think they're out. I think we'll get past that. I'm not really. How do y'all feel? How do y'all feel? I mean, like Tyler said, I think it's their chip to lose. I think they're going to get past these Mavs, and they're going to make it hell for the Celtics in the finals. That's how.
Yeah, I think they for sure get past the Mavs too. I just think that like that defense is just too stout. They got so much length on the perimeter to muddy things up for Luka and Kyrie. Then, if Luka and Kyrie get past that wall of defense, then you got, Reed and Gobert down low. So yeah, I just think that the Mavs being so reliant on their guards to ball out and to win games for them, I just think that's a bad matchup for them against Minnesota.
I would never count out any team that has 2 guys who can score 50. Right. I agree.
I like hurt though. The best players, for sure. Yeah.
But I mean, I agree with you. Like I got the Wolves too, and I think it could be like 5 games.
It could be 5. Yeah.
I'm so excited to watch Ant versus Kyrie on the Mavs offensive end of the floor that I don't know. I'm like, I almost don't care about the game. It's almost like just give me an ISO cam, even off ball. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's going to be, you want to talk about restoring the feeling like we talked about on the pod. Like that's the real, I don't know. I'm very excited for that.
It's funny because when you talk to players, Kyrie's the guy that they're like, no matter how good these other players are better than Kyrie is, that's the guy that they hate guarding. Like, I don't want to say hate guarding, but that they're so most amazed by guarding. And so like him just like, well, Kyrie's my assignment, just being like almost excited about it. And the Western Conference Finals is, from a 22-year-old after the game they just had. I mean, yes, I want to see how that matchup goes for sure. But I just feel like, they're just too dominant as a whole. But if he is sitting on Kyrie the way he sat on Murray in big moments, nigga,
we're gonna have some real conversations, bro.
Yo, I'm like, can we see an MVP, defensive player of the year performance? Like, could we potentially see that from him the way he does? I mean, I don't know. At some point in his career, there's moments when I see him, like particularly last game when he wasn't scoring, when he's like, this is how I can help the team. I'm like, is there a better guard defender in the league when he fucking sits down on people that he just seemed impossible to get by. He seemed like a virus. He seemed like you couldn't get rid of his ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, is he?
All right. That's all the basketball talk. Do y'all have anything you want to talk about, or does the chat have anything they want us to talk about, Josh?
So the chat wants to hear about Scotty Scheffler, the golfer who dragged a police officer apparently.
So the story was there was a fatality. I believe it was a pedestrian was hit and killed outside of where the PGA tournament was last weekend. Scotty Scheffler, who we were all saying looks like a character from It's Always Sunny. He looks just like a character from It's Always Sunny. You would not know that man's the best in the world at a real sport.
That's a lot of golfers, though.
Yeah, he said he was directed by some police officers to go around in this way. A police officer tried to stop him. He tried to go around the police officer. The police officer filed a report saying he was dragged and that his pants were irreparably damaged. They arrested him they arrested him, put him in the back of the car, booked him. And then I think he got out in like an hour or something, because he still made his tea time, I believe, which is some truly special shit.
The tea time was the next day.
Okay. That was pretty good knowledge of the golf situation off the cuff, though. You have to give me that.
Oh yeah, bro.
Hold
Shit.
on. The cop just latched onto his car while it was going the wrong way and got dragged.
I think that's like roughly what happened. It's like 10 feet or something like that.
Yeah, like he was. I guess he thought the cop was a. he
thought he was grabbing a car while it's moving, bro.
Bro.
What is wrong with you? Police, no, cops are different, and that is not a compliment. How full of yourself do you have to be to think you can stop a motor-powered vehicle for not listening to you with your bare hands? Oh. Like, come on, dog.
He tried to do the Dark Side Superman cape grab on a car.
Grabbed onto a car because the car didn't listen to him. Like, what are you doing, bro? Come on, man.
That's our take on the Scottie Scheffler situation. John, you got anything else on Scottie Scheffler?
Nah, I think Tyler did it. What was kind of funny after he, got arrested, he looks at the homie he's with and he's like, "Help me.
Help me."
He said, "Help me." He was just like, I think he thought the dude was a security guard. Like he thought he didn't think he was a real cop. You know what I mean? I think he wasn't. And he looks like a guy that off the golf course, he might not know what the fuck's going on. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Anyway,
but didn't he just have a baby too?
Yeah, but he also got look like
No. I know his look, but John, you remember the first month after you had a baby?
Yeah, but I mean, he's rich though, so he has a night nanny, a day nanny. There's all that shit going on, bro. Like he's rich. So I mean, he's not. He might be waking up every.
He's still getting 10 hours of sleep.
You feel me? Like
wow. I'm trying to picture a world where you have a newborn baby and you can still sleep in.
I mean, he's playing dad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At this point, so I think he got. I mean, dude, is he what 2 weeks, a week from him having a baby? He's an attorney.
Yeah,
like, bro, come on. You saw me. You like, I'm glad you left the house because I was scared to leave. Like,
yeah.
Is everything gonna be okay anyway?
Right.
So, yeah. So I think he got a touch of that. That tism, brother. But
I don't think we've done a touch of the tism on the pod, bro. I thought that was a group chat only joke.
I said it. That's why I said it, because I don't know what niggas don't talk about. So we just move on along, brother. But yeah, I think you got a touch of that. That's some scopes.
Just a little touch of that tism, baby. Okay.
We also have a Jackson Saffon in the chat. He says, "No clue what you're talking about."
Fuck you, Jackson. You can't show up in the chat, you motherfucker.
That's no way to treat a fan, Mike.
You gotta be loyal to the listeners, dog.
It's the pod, and you on the chat talking shit. That's crazy. Shout
out to Jackson.
No shout out to Jackson.
But yeah, I think he, anyway, so he didn't know what was going on. So when he got hemmed up, he was confused. Yeah. And it's just funny thinking of him. Look at a man's like 6'2". He's help me.
He said, help me.
Pleading for help. Oh man, that made me laugh when I read this shit.
It's
how
funny.
Happened, though? Like, how did that happen? That's crazy. I didn't know that. I didn't read that part. How did that happen?
The what?
Like, I didn't know somebody died. What's wild is that
that's why there were all the cops there and shit was coned off.
I've
was
only
because
heard
someone
about
had
him
killed.
getting hit. I didn't know about somebody the reason why.
No, I had
him driving past the cop. I didn't know somebody got hit.
I had a bunch of texts from people because the first like push alerts that went out were like Scottie Scheffler arrested at scene of traffic fatality. So like I had homies hitting me like, I know you don't fuck with golf, but this dude is like the best golfer in the world. I think he just like killed someone. You know what I mean? Like that was like what was sort of first going out about it or whatever. Crazy scene, bro. That's just unbelievable. All right. Anything else from the chat, Josh? Any other topics?
JLo and Ben splitting up. If you guys are interested in that,
I don't give a fuck. But wow.
And then Davy Jones says he wants giraffe fight reactions.
Hey, maybe we can figure that out in the summer when the basketball season's over.
Where do you
giraffe fights and just give color commentation? You know what I mean?
Color commentary. We should do that.
Where do y'all come down on JLo?
I think that she is a terrible person to deal with. Like, I feel like it's like a quarterly event. Like it happens 3-4 times a year where everyone talks about the interactions they had with JLo and how terrible of a person she was. Like, you know, like people who work in hospitality or in dining or whatever. Everyone fucking hops out the woodwork on Twitter and tells us how terrible that woman was. And like we saw it all over Ben's face. Like he just did that motherfucker like he was dead on the inside when he was out with her. Like you ever see that clip of it where paparazzi caught him and her coming out and he opened
the door for her.
Yeah, and then slammed the door and like and then died before he had to walk and get back in. Like that was a man who had to take those 6 seconds he had
and really enjoyed them.
6 seconds he had between his wife getting in the car and him walking around, and those were his 6 seconds of peace. And paparazzi ruined that, and he could not believe it, bro. Like that man was in hell, dog. Like I'm glad he's gotten out of it.
What
the only time he asked himself,
what made him sign up again? She bad, dog.
That was my question, because I feel like Twitter has been very revisionist history. When we were younger, I had no ifs, ands, or buts about how attractive I thought Jennifer Lopez was. I feel like
that green flowy Grammys dress. That's why Google Images exists, because people were Googling that dress.
Seriously, is that true?
Like, early 2000 JLo's, she was something different, man.
She was, and what the Twitter trolls don't understand is the context that Jennifer Lopez arrived to us, because for 20 years prior to that, America allegedly the standard of beauty was the skinniest possible woman. I think for every 12-year-old in fucking 1995, it was like, I prefer this. I do prefer this.
And I've never seen it on TV.
Sir Mix-a-Lot laid the foundation. And JLo just took it to the next strat. It's crazy.
But that is a weird thing though about this. You can't really explain that to younger people. Like that song exists because it was the idea of liking a big butt was a novelty. Like that song is just that's a genre of music now.
Yeah, I feel like we have to, for sure, we have to acknowledge that there's some To America shit. I feel like my people have always enjoyed curvy women, and white people, that was just not y'all shit, bro.
Bro, I remember a nigga told me he wanted his lady shaped like a P, a capital P. Like, and I'm not gonna say his name was Matt. Fuck it, Matt Box, nigga. That was his name. I remember he told me that shit. I was like confused. He said, I want them to almost fall over when they're walking. I'm like, nigga, that sounds like a P. Sound like it, bro. Just crazy. I remember that shit, dog. Definitely To Americas, because I was not. I wanted the exact opposite.
Yeah, and again, I agreed, but I mean, like what was being shoved forward in mass media and stuff, obviously. For sure. Know what I mean?
I told y'all, bro. Like, I figured early on that white mainstream America's ideals of beauty, like when people were saying like Courtney Cox and Jennifer Aniston were the most beautiful women in the world, I was like, motherfucker, where? Like, nigga. I do not see it, dog. Like
I know
was like a horny teenager back then. Like I saw it and everything, but not that.
They was in my senior class, nigga. Like wasn't nobody tripping off them. I'm like, what the fuck? You feel what I'm saying? I had motherfuckers that look just like that. You feel me? Like if that motherfucker didn't like Jaquetta Benicia, get him up out of here, dog. You know what I mean? Flat out. What you mean?
Yeah, it's hard to put a famous celebrity woman in front of a horny 13-year-old and have the 13-year-old go,
I don't know about this one,
not for me.
Confused.
I think I'm gonna pass on this.
Confused. Yeah. But I also like the TV that I watched. I wasn't really watching like Friends and none of that shit. I told y'all that I know Seinfeld was a big deal till like 15 years later.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so I wasn't watching. So the shit that I was watching showed what I was fucking with. You know what I mean? So
Jennifer Lopez was not a meteor that hit the earth for you guys.
Nah, bro. She was just, I guess that's the first time that them people saw it.
In my world, Jennifer Aniston was not touching Pansy from Jamie Foxx. She was not touching Pam from Martin. She would no.
None of that, bro.
To Americas, dog.
Josh, we got anything else in the chat?
We do actually, and I'm interested to hear this. Cam on CNN. I don't know if you saw that interview.
I took that one off, fellas. You got any reactions to that? I saw people talking about it. I was like, I have no fucking desire.
Yeah, I got a few thoughts on that. For one, For one, I mean, I saw the angles where a lot of people were like, "Oh, this is why you need more black people on your team," and I feel like this isn't even necessarily a cultural blind spot because Camron has done news media before, and he has iconically infamous appearances every time he goes on news media, right? Like, he went on the Bill O'Reilly show and did the "You Mad." He went on CNN and said he would not call the cops if a serial killer was living right next door to him. Like, why would you think a dude who said he would not tell the police if a serial killer was living next door to him that he would give you dirt on Diddy? You know what I mean? I just feel like that was just like the folks who booked him just did not do their diligence on that. I feel like they probably wanted to get Mace because he's directly tied to Puff, and Mace probably Mace declined. Mace said he's got a documentary coming on it, which is why he's been like tight-lipped about his years with Bad Boy. So I feel like they probably tried to holler at Mace. Mace wasn't with it. Then they went and got Cam, and Cam is a fucking troll, and he went out there and just went Camron on him, and it was just like bro, like I said, I just felt like that was CNN dropping the ball and not doing their homework. But on a more serious front, I just don't know why Cam would go on there and do that besides just Cam being an asshole, right? Which is kind of Cam's brand too. That's who he's been known as, right? Like Camron is an asshole. None of us are surprised that it happened. I think we're just like, bro, how does CNN and these news media outlets keep reaching out to this dude, right? Like, that's where I'm at with that.
Like, when they did when he brought up, like, who's the talent, like, like who's a talent scout here, or whatever the fuck. I was like, wow, why would you ask him to be in there based upon what we've seen before? It was still wild to see him. I mean, I know it's Cam, right? Mm-hmm. But like, you sitting there, you drinking pink horsepower. I'm finna get some cheeks. Like, really got to do that? Like, do we really have to do that type shit? Like, that was wild to me. I felt like that was. I know it's Cam. I know how he moves, but it seemed more unnecessary than the prior joints. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's because who was interviewing him, but I don't know.
No. I'm totally with you because I for sure felt that was distasteful with the topic at hand, with a man who has done terrible things to women, and you make a woman feel uncomfortable by saying that shit, by hitting that power drink, right? Like that was dickhead shit, and talking about you about to go get some cheeks and all that. But yeah, it's just, and I also I think Cam was on some bullshit because I don't think that this is a topic where you go to get your trolls off on. No, right? Like, this is some serious shit, bro. Like, Puff has done some extremely foul shit. Like, we saw the video. Like, it's not speculation. We know for a fact that he was abusing Cassie, and I just don't feel like saying, oh, I ain't know that, man. Why y'all call me on here and just trying to do that to get your troll off and to like promo your pod. That's just not a good look, bro. Because I think the situation calls for a more serious conversation than that. And if you don't want to provide that serious conversation, then just step out, bro. Don't do the shit.
Also, like, he talked about it seriously with Mace, the video that they played, entering the segment, where he said he was almost emotional because Mace really looked out for him because they know how shitty Puffy is. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So you understand, like, probably more than even we do, even after watching the video, how trash of a human Puff is, G. You know what I mean? And then you just make light of it with, with those ridiculous antics, like, I've been a Camron fan my whole life. You feel me? But you know what I'm saying? Ever since I knew he existed. But that's just nasty, dog. We grown now, nigga. Like, you gotta take some shit seriously. You feel me?
Right. Yeah. Anything else? That's not a good note to end on.
No, that's actually.
Chat, quick. Give us something else.
You could just say fuck.
That's a good question. Would you guys ever go on? Would you guys ever go on CNN for any reason?
Hell yeah.
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't?
No.
For moral reasons, or just because why? Is it an objection to CNN or just a not wanting to be on a national news network generally?
I don't think there's anything I need to talk to CNN's audience about, right? Like, I don't feel that my opinion is that important to talk to. I feel like people who are watching CNN are watching that shit to be informed, yes, and also to kind of just like look for debate. And I don't really need that shit. You know what I'm saying? I get enough debates off my fucking benign ass tweets. I would never do like a CNN TV appearance.
I don't like doing anything where I can't be myself. So just period. You know what I mean? So they wouldn't expect me to be me on CNN. So I just wouldn't. Fuck it. I'm cool on it.
I guess I'll have to go to CNN. I'll have to do all the CNN appearances by myself.
All the Joe CNN.
You'll rep us well. I'm certain of it.
So are you Jenkins or Jones? Neither.
No, I'm the guy who types the ampersand in between Jenkins and Jones.
I'm motherfucking Mike over here.
You fucking heard. You know what I mean?
You fucking heard.
All right. That's all the time we got for tonight. Fuck you, Jackson, once again. Fuck you, Jackson. And then we'll be back on.
That's a lot.
I love that man. That's why I could say that.
Yeah, that's true.
He was just in the group chat talking about he's getting ready for his 10th high school reunion.
Y'all go to y'all high school reunions?
No.
I mean, I know you just went, Mike, but like,
I would. I mean, no, I'd still see all my friends from high school because we all still live in Long Beach for the most part. But I mean, I'm married to my
high school sweetheart.
Yeah. I would like we actually stopped doing them though, just because social media people are lazy and stuff. I wish we would do them. Mercedes Lewis, NFL veteran of 18 years or whatever. Our 10th high school reunion, we did do a reunion. And he was at training camp, which we thought was funny at the time. It was like, wow, Mercedes is still in the league. Like 10 years later. This is crazy. He filmed like a video and everything. That was cool. You know what I mean? You know, Snoop Dogg still goes to his high school reunions when they do class. I forget. He's at class of 86 or whatever. He went to
different. I think Poly different. I think y'all different. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know, bro. Y'all got like niggas that go to Poly love Poly. Like,
it's a cult, bro. It's a cult. Yeah, for sure.
Like, you know, when we talked about Dre, like young heads that's graduating now, like they will carry, they rep Poly like it's a college.
Right.
You know what I mean? They won't be like, where you went to school at? Like, I've seen like NFLers say Poly instead of like.
Oh, they usually don't do the college. Yeah, they usually do the high school.
It's very different. You know, so I think, I mean, it makes more sense that y'all tap in with y'all reunions more than, but I had no interest, bro. I was cool.
Yeah. I've had the same telephone number since 2003, dog. I'm not hard to find.
Yeah.
And, you know what I'm saying? So, and
Yeah,
anyone who I want to get in touch with from my high school years, who I'm not already in touch with, is 1 degree of separation away from me and my contacts. Like, you know,
I've had the same phone number since the Motorola Razr, dog. You feel me?
Out of that Virgin Mobile,
yeah,
brick phone.
I was fucking with the same shit when it was fucking singular, nigga. Before it was AT&T.
I don't even think that shit exists anymore.
It don't exist anymore, nigga. It's AT&T now. That shit ain't exist for a long time. So, bro, like, nigga, if you have my number, you know what I'm saying, you want to talk to me, you can still talk to me.
Too many people got my number.
Matt Boss, if you mad about me talking about you, hit me up, nigga. We can talk it out. Maybe we've grown since our senior year of high school.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
We'll be back Thursday and Sunday night.
No.
We'll be back on Thursday. We'll be back on Sunday night, recording live. After, if you're listening to this on the pod, you can come hang out with us. YouTube.com/@JenkinsandJones. We're reading comments from the chat. We're taking questions, all that fun stuff. So come hang out Thursday, Sunday night, YouTube.com/@JenkinsandJones. Thanks so much for spending your night with us or your day if you're listening tomorrow. We'll see y'all soon. Bye.
Bye.